Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Skyward Sword. Come on, Link, we gotta wake up, stretch out. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so we're in the middle of Skyview Temple. We've just picked up the beetle, so let's make our way out. And now that we've done that, basically the rest of the temple is open to us. There's actually quite a few things we can sort of play around with here in the middle room. Let's avoid the spider, though. We don't want to deal with that. Helped. Hey, that's not fair. You can't just randomly charge. And again, remember, those guys do take a finishing blow, so don't just hit them 3 times and run off like the other ones. So we can kind of look around and you can see there are various things hanging by webs. I don't know why a spider would just, like, want to hang a box from the ceiling, but I don't know, don't ask me. Either way, we can use the beetle to cut it down, and these things usually have some good stuff in them. Oh, there, I got a little confused. You can see that one actually houses a fairy, which is kind of interesting, but we do have an empty bottle, so we might as well go ahead and grab it. So, of course, we cut a fairy. You know how this works. If we put it in a bottle, it would come to your aid automatically if you run out of hearts. So, definitely good to always have one of those around. And there's another box over here. And hopefully those keys won't get on my case while I'm doing this. Yeah, it's kind of weird to go up, like, as fast as you can, because it tends to, like, turn in random directions. Oh, man, look at this. Like, 4 red rupees came out of that. I don't even care about the enemies. I gotta gather these things before they disappear. Alright, yeah, the other guy's gonna get up, but that's fine. Yeah, just one more hit and he goes down. Oh, man, we made a killing on rupees there. That was awesome. It usually doesn't drop that much. I thought only 1 red rupee came out of it. Alright, well, that's definitely cool, then. Looks like we've got a couple things to do. I believe this is actually our next destination. If we can knock this box down as well. So, yeah, there you go. 1 red rupee comes out of that. Still pretty decent money for the amount of effort put into it, which is basically none. Alright, so in order to open this thing up, we're going to have to send our beetle in this little tunnel up here. You see we've got a Deku Baba we can avoid. Go, hit the switch inside. Pretty cleverly designed, but kind of predictable as well, I guess. Alright, so that will open up the door. Let's head through. Alright, so we gotta drop down here. It looks like there might be some things to do in this room, but there's really not. We pretty much just need to press forward and go through this door here. You might have seen the Amber Relic kind of hiding in this branch here. We can also use the beetle to pick up far-off items. You can see it'll kind of pick it up there. And once we get back, it'll return it to us. So that's helpful. Okay, so... Oh, we're locked in. That's no good. Alright, so it looks like we've got 3 eyes here. Oh, whoa. Hello. So now we have a ground-based Skulltula. We're fighting them all over the place. This one we can just pretty much do an upward strike, then do a finishing blow. They're super easy to defeat on the ground. Hanging from the web, like on the 1 string, where you have to kind of hit them back and forth, is really annoying. They're probably the worst form. Okay, so we got 3 eyes here, but unfortunately we can't really get that top one's attention, so we're gonna have to do something about that. Thankfully, it's pretty simple. We can just climb up the vines over here. You can see there's actually a giant metal crate thing hanging from a string here. Or a web, I guess. It's a pretty strong web, actually. I imagine that thing would be really heavy. So, Alright, so let's push the box off the edge here. You can see, you can pretty much guess what we're going to do with it. We're going to be pushing it here, and that's basically going to elevate us so we can get the attention of that top eye. Or stamina refill a bit. It's kind of annoying that it takes stamina to push things. Because, you know, if you tire yourself out, you'll just have to sit there and wait. It's almost unnecessary. I think that was 8 pushes. Yeah, it looks like we're in the middle. So as you can see, we've instantly got its attention, and as we step forward, we've got all the other ones as well. Alright, so thankfully that one worked without any issue. And that'll open up the gate and let us access that chest. Awesome, let's do it. And of course, we get another small key. That's how dungeons go. All the hard-to-get-to chests generally contain a key. Alright, so let's just go back out the door we came in. Thankfully, it unlocked once we defeated the Skulltula. So now, in order to get back out, it's actually a little bit more complex than it might seem. We can't just run straight through because there was a big ledge that we dropped down to get down here. So what we're going to have to do is run a little bit of an obstacle course here with the beetle. You can see there's actually a crystal switch off in the distance, so let's just make our way through the trees. There we go. It's a little bit tricky, but not too bad. And then once we hit the switch, that will once again raise the water level, allowing us to access this upper passage here. So let's swim to it. That took a lot longer than I felt like it should have, but oh well. Alright, so we have this sculpture here. If we play this right, well, I believe sometimes you can get around it, but I don't know, it doesn't always work. Even if it does fall down, it's no big deal. So we can make our way up here. You can see this little tunnel to go through. There we go. And that'll lead us to the door. So this is exactly the same one that we entered the first time. We just had to do a little bit of a puzzle-solving stuff to get to it. Alright, so here we are back out in the main room. Now, once we make our way out around this way, I believe... Nope, that's just the door. Alright, so I think we're going to have to move... Oh, yeah, if you're not watching where you're going, those things can catch you by surprise. Alright, so what we're looking for, you can see there's a locked door over there. That's where we're going to go next, but there's something to get here first. We've got, yes, you can see there's actually a piece of heart kind of hidden in a cage there. So we're going to have to find a way to open it. Now, this one can be a little bit tricky, and it really tests like how far the beetle can go. What we're going to have to do is make this thing go all the way up here. You can see there's just that little window, and you can see it's starting to flash red. That means you're just about to reach the end of its length. But thankfully we can get the crystal switch just before that happens, which will of course unlock the cage for us. So that's pretty simple, but it might take a little bit of looking around to figure out. And of course this piece of heart actually completes the heart container, and it will increase by 1. Nice, up to 7, sweet. Alright, so like I said, this place right here is actually, if we look at our map, this is going to be due north. You can see that's where we want to head, but there's some bars here, and there's nothing really we can do about that. So we're going to have to go around just a little bit first. So what we're going to have to do is walk this tightrope, but before we want to do that, we want to send the beetle out to definitely take these things out, otherwise they would wreak havoc on us on that tightrope. So just a couple shots here, and we'll be able to take them all down. Oh, I didn't get it. I thought I did. There we go. Alright, so one more. Yeah, even these guys over here on the sides, I believe, can get you. So, oh, yeah, and that's what happens if you hit them too low. Man, I'm taking way too many shots here. There we go. Alright, so now that the way is clear, let's walk across. Well, come on, man. I'm like, there. It's like I'm like pointing straight to the left. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, so let's unlock the door and head through. We're getting pretty close to the end of this place. It doesn't take too long. Again, it's just the first dungeon, so it's pretty simple by comparison to the rest of them. Alright, so let's make our way through these here. We have another new enemy. This is called the Staldra. What I like to do is just block them and then do a horizontal slice, and that'll usually take them down. It goes pretty quick if you do it right. Basically, the trick with those guys is you have to kill all 3 of the heads at once, otherwise they just respawn. So, it's pretty simple. If you just knock them out with the shield bash, they'll generally line up for you to do a nice little horizontal swipe and take them down. Alright, so we've got a spider in the way here. He thinks he's being clever by blocking our jump, but this is pretty fun. Just cut his rope. It's always fun. Alright, so jump across. That looks like you might not make it. It's pretty close, but you do just grab onto the edge. We've got a crystal switch over here we can hit. And I kind of prefer to use the beetle over the slingshot just because it doesn't require any ammunition or anything. But as you can see, that'll open up the bar, so that'll take us back to that big main room we were in before. So there's another little shortcut for you. Alright, so on the way across here, I am going to use the slingshot. Remember our strategy with these guys across the tightrope. Just stun them for a little bit, and then eventually they'll try to come out after us, which is pretty stupid when you think about it. But I mean, we're obviously sitting here with a ranged weapon like pointed right at them. I don't know why they would try to walk across. So again, another random bottomless pit. Definitely don't want to fall in there. Alright, made it across. So this is the boss door. As you can see, it's got a little H on it. No, the H doesn't really mean anything. I think Fi actually might tell us about it. Zelda Zora. Oh wow, she's excited. That doesn't happen very often. High probability she's beyond the large door. Of course, we can't really do anything about it, and the door is locked tight and will not open. Of course, that's basically the boss door, so we're going to have to find what's basically the boss key in order to access it. First, though, we can check out this room to the left, open up the chest, and then I'll have a red rupee for us. So we're definitely raking in the rupees at this point. We've hit 200 again. Bird statue there if you want to save. Now, we're going to get the boss key, the thing. I don't know. It's called something different in each dungeon, but it's basically the boss key. We're going to get it right here in just a minute. We've got to make our way around this corner here. Alright, so we got a rope we can cut. I'm going to do that. And again, wait for it to stop swinging before you try to jump to it. Okay, seems stopped. Now here we want to stop it by holding down B and kind of rotate around a bit. If you try to adjust your momentum while you're swinging, it can get a little bit weird. You go in all kinds of strange directions that you don't mean to go. So I usually just always stop completely, then turn, and then start going again. Alright, so we've got a couple ropes to swing across here. We're going to need to be using our slingshot to get them down. It's dropping a bit. Yeah, there it goes. So I couldn't quite see where it was going. Link's head was in the way. Alright, so we jump to this one. Oh man, that was close. I didn't think I made it. So we go ahead and make sure it stops. Line ourselves up with the other rope. There we go. Whew. Alright, so I made that one. Now we gotta stop here and get this one. Cool, we made it. Alright, so obviously this big white chest is something special. Let's open it up. And we, of course, get the golden carving. Like I said, it's called something different in each dungeon, but it's basically the boss key. Alright, so now that we've got that, we're all ready to finish this place up. Let's just climb up these vines here. Jump across, get the heart if you need it. Walk across the tightrope one last time. I don't know, it's being a little finicky. I usually don't... he usually doesn't grunt that much, but oh well, doesn't really matter as long as we get across. Alright, so here's the door. Now, it's going to be a little bit different. It's not just using it. This time we are actually going to have to kind of rotate it to match the emblem. This one's pretty simple, just kind of down this way. There we go. Once it's lined up, press A to insert it. And they're usually pretty easy. I don't really know if I like that addition or not. I mean, I'd kind of prefer... It's really just busy work. I'd kind of prefer to rather just press A and go in the door like always, but, you know, can't blame them for trying to innovate, I guess, and it's not too bad. Look who it is. I thought that tornado I stirred up would have tossed and torn you apart, yet here you are, not in pieces. Not that your life or death has any consequence. It's just the girl that matters now, and I can sense her here, just beyond this door. Yes, we plucked her majesty from her perch in the clouds, and now she's ours. Oh, but listen to me. I'm being positively uncivil. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the demon lord who presides over this land you look down upon, this world you call the surface. You may call me Girahim. In truth, I very much prefer to be indulged with my full title, Lord Girahim, but I'm not fussy. Did you really just draw your sword? Foolish boy. By all rights, the girl should have fallen into our hands already. She was nearly ours when that loathsome servant of the goddess snatched her away. Do you have any idea how that made me feel inside? Furious, outraged, sick with anger. This turn of events has left me with a strong appetite for bloodshed. Still, it hardly seems fair, being of my position, to take all of my anger out on you, which is why I promise up front not to murder you. No, I'll just beat you within an inch of your life. Alright, so we are now fighting against the Demon Lord Girahim. We'll talk about his character a little bit later. We got some fighting to do. So basically, what he's going to do up first is just try to grab your sword from you. What I like to do is go from one side or the other until you see his hand not moving. See, it's moving, it's moving, it's not. So you strike from that side. And moving, moving, not. And you can basically just keep this up while kind of strafing away from him. And it goes generally pretty well. If you hit him when his hand is in the right position, he will grab your sword from you. And it gets a little annoying, but here we've entered kind of the real fight. Now he's drawn his weapon and we're getting serious. We can deflect these with a well-timed attack. So that works pretty well. And we can shield bash that if we time it right, get some shots in on him. Going to appear behind us. As long as you hit him where his sword is not, you'll be able to get some strikes in there as well. And that's pretty much all the attacks he has. Once you get this pattern down, he's pretty simple to take care of, actually. So, not too much to worry about here. First boss, but it's a pretty cool fight. I like the sound effects that happen whenever you're hitting him. It's kind of a neat thing. And he does some pretty cool attacks, you know, kind of teleporting around and stuff, so it's always kind of fun. So it shouldn't be too much more, and this guy will probably go down pretty soon. Alright, doing the charge again. Yeah, it kind of varies how many shots you can get in on him. I'm not sure if it kind of goes by how fast you swing. Yeah, that one can be a little bit annoying because I don't exactly know the timing. I like the... Oh man, he actually got me. Oh wow. He usually appears behind you. It kind of threw me off. Alright, there we go. Took him down. Well, you put up more of a fight than I would have thought possible out of such a soft boy. But don't clap for yourself quite yet. That sword of yours is the only reason you still live. I fear I spent far too long teasing and toying with you. The girl's presence is all but faded from this place, which means there's no reason to linger here. Goodbye, Sky Child. Run and play this time. Get in my way again, though, and you're dead. Alright, so I guess we can take this opportunity to talk about Girahim a little bit while we collect our heart container. It's kind of an interesting character, isn't he? It's a little bit different than what you kind of expect out of a Zelda villain, but honestly, I really like it. I think it's an interesting change kind of from the formula. He's a pretty interesting character, very emotive actually, in cutscenes, you know, some of his dialogue is really good. So honestly, Girahim, I give him a thumbs up. I like him, so... Alright, let's head through the door. Apparently Zelda was beyond here, but it seems Girahim said her presence is all but faded, so I don't know, maybe she's not back here anymore, but we should still check the area out nonetheless. Alright, wow, check this out. Oh, look at all the waterfalls and stuff. Wow, this is pretty neat. So, if you want some money, you can actually use the beetle here. At least I believe it should be. It's usually a red rupee. Yep, there it is. So we can grab that, get another 20. Always good to pick up money when you see it. Wow. Man, this is a beautiful place with the birds around and everything. I wouldn't mind to hang out here, I'll tell you that much. Looks like that statue of the goddess looks pretty similar to the giant one we have on Skyloft, huh? Yeah, so they point this out for you here, but there's actually a really cleverly hidden goddess cube. This one I actually missed my first time through because I just didn't think to check behind this. You can see they put a goddess cube back here, though. And once you deal with what's up there, you have to actually just walk your way all the way back here. You get automatically sent out, so want to make sure to grab that one before you do anything here. Alright, so let's make our way back around. Alright, so looks like we need to do it from here. Obviously, this crest looks very similar. Let's do a Skyward strike. Master, I have a message written in the language of the gods of old. Allow me to translate for you. From the edge of time I guide you, the one chosen to carry out the goddess's mission. The spirit maiden who descended from the clouds must travel to 2 sacred places to purify her body. You stand in one of these places, Skyview Spring. The other is known as the Earth Spring. This second spring is hidden away deep within the scorched earth of Eldon. The Spirit Maiden, ever mindful of the heavy task entrusted to her, has set out for the second sacred place. Alright, and with that we get the Ruby Tablet. Nice, that means we have finished our endeavors here in the Farron area. Nice. That was a rather artful translation, wouldn't you say? Kind of dancing around in the spring there. That was pretty neat. Master, as I just translated, it would appear that Zelda purified herself in the waters of this spring. I calculate a 97% chance that she has already set out for Eldon, where another great spring exists. However, it is not clear what method of travel Zelda used to move from here to her next destination. Yeah, that's true. How does she get away so fast? My analysis suggests that you should take the tablet to the altar in Skyloft. Doing so will likely open a new column of light on the surface, allowing you to descend to another area and continue your search for Zelda. Let's return to the sky once more before continuing our search. The bird statue outside can take us back up. And like I said, you get teleported out of here, so make sure you grab that goddess cube, because it's a pain to try to get back there. Alright, so we're given a chance to save our progress here, and I think I'm actually going to take it. This seems like a pretty good place to stop. We've just finished up Skyview, met Girahim. Interesting character, learned that Zelda has been in that spring, but has moved on to the next one, and that's where we got to go next. So next time we'll head up into the sky, put the tablet back into Skyloft, and see what kind of cool adventures await us. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.